Well, here we are. It's nearing the end of August. I've been a little behind on some of my yard work, but that's due to life getting in the way. When you have to work for a living, that's what happens. As you can see, they cut down the hay in the hay field across the way. They usually do it a little later than I personally would. You don't want the alfalfa to get too big or it loses some of its nutrients for the cattle feed. But anyways, back to my yard. As you can see, the apple tree, it's loaded with apples. Now, they did take some damage from a hailstorm, but they were quite young and they've grown since then. And I think they'll do quite well, but as you can see, there is quite a lot of apples there. They range in size from about 2-inch diameter to the size of my fist. And I tried a couple earlier that had fallen off. I let them ripen in the window and they were quite good. The ones on the tree yet are still not quite ready. They're a little bitter. As you can see, this tree is all in flower, and at some point the cedar waxwings will come. Once the plants are rotted, or the berries I mean are rotted, they will come and they will eat and eat and eat until they are drunk, and actually sometimes they even fly into the windows and kill themselves. Maybe Mad needs to make a don't drink and fly thing for the cedar waxwings. As you can see, as I said, I've been very busy with work and then some illness, but as a result I haven't gotten to the yard, and so the grass is overtaking a lot of things. But where I planted the permaculture beds, it seems to really be actually thriving, even though I haven't been watering or anything like that. I believe I showed you earlier all this ivy that's growing here. As you can see, it puts out a lot of seed, and this is basically only 2 plants as far as I can tell, but they've covered a large area. If they had the opportunity, as you can see, they're growing up this pole here, they would grow right up the house. What they did do is grow right up this onion that is going to seed, and they have actually laid this onion right over. As you can see, they are a plant that can be quite invasive. They could be very neat to have covering your house or something, but it is a very invasive plant. If controlled, it could be quite neat, and it would create quite a nice biomass. As you can see, this bed here that I half sheet mulched, as I showed you in other videos, is now half of it is grass. You can just see the edge of the log there that's covering the bed where it'll finish, and I obviously haven't finished it. And this is where I sheet mulched. So let's just dig down a little. And yeah, we don't have much here. I haven't been watering it like I should to be rotting it down properly. I need to add some good compost over this. Maybe some rock or wood chips, or maybe some boards or small twigs, and then some more mulch over top of that, and leave this sit over the winter. This area should get quite filled with snow because of the wind patterns, and in the spring when that melts down, once it starts getting the spring heat, it'll start to rot down fast like a compost. If I'd been watering that more this year, it would have been much better off. The potatoes that I planted here that I didn't know if would grow into anything, obviously have gotten quite big and are going to seed. As you can see, the flowers here. These are potatoes that I had in the fridge, and they got soft, so I thought, I'll plant them and just see what happens, and apparently they're growing. I haven't re-hilled them like I should, because potatoes grow up, not down, so I don't know what I'll get for crop. But we will find out. They've been put in and neglected. This half of the bed I kind of left this year because I did have some asparagus and things planted in here, but nothing became of them. It would have been the 3rd year. Sadly, I lost them. The peas are coming up good. This, I believe, is a oriental pea for cooking. They've gone a little too long, some of them. These ones are still good, and they can be used in soups and salads and such like that. Now that the train is gone, every day I pick a few peas. Now these green ones here will be going in a bag in the freezer. I didn't plant a ton of peas, but every day I harvest a few. These yellower ones here are beginning to dry, and the reason I'm letting them go is for seed. I'm picking them now so that when they burst open, they'll burst open in my seed pods or seed holders in the house, and not all over the ground where I have to pick them up, where they might have already gotten moisture, and I can control them to use for seed for next year. This bed does need some water. This bed gets quite dry because there's no downspout or rain that comes off the roofs here, and so I have to make sure I try to water this area. There is a flow that comes from the north and actually through our carport and down to here during a good rainstorm, but that takes a lot of rain. These are heirloom variety cucumbers here. They are a round cucumber. I believe a lemon cucumber is what they were called. As you can see, I've got clusters of flowers here, and hopefully I can get some cucumbers and get some seeds off them as well. Every day I can come out here and find something new. Even though I haven't had time to work on it, these gardens, they're just seeming to thrive on their own. And every year I build on them, they come back better. This just goes to show you, without even permaculture training other than research, you can actually use these methods and make them work. I encourage training. I would like to have more myself, and every day I try to learn more. Here's another example. I will actually harvest these right away. These are seed onions. As you can see, it's sent another sprout with more onions there. These are a green onion you can harvest, and you can harvest a lot of seeds off them, and I'm hoping to sell some because I'll have more than I need now. As you can see now, my herb garden bed is looking more like a forest than an herb garden bed. The dill is towering high, but I have mints coming up in here. There's more mint here. As you can see, the French tarragon has gotten so big I can reach it from this side of the bed almost 4 feet away now. The tree that's coming up here is almost 6 feet high now and seeming to do quite well. This bed needs water. A lot of my beds do right now. I've been behind on this, so I need to get some work done tonight. Here you can see my sheep mulch bed from last year, and as you can see, it's pretty much overgrown. The spaghetti squash have taken off. As you can see, we have some fruit coming here. They're not real big yet, but they're growing. There's more in here, back in here. Spinach for seed. As you can see here, I'm almost 10 feet away from where this plant was planted, and there's more spaghetti squash coming out. So as you can see, they're far reaching. The rhubarb there isn't doing the greatest, although everything's getting a little dry. As you can see, even the pond grass looks dry. Here's the heirloom lettuces. Here's some of the heirloom lettuce that's going to seed. I'm hoping I can harvest seeds off this. Some heirloom tomatoes. They are flowering. I hope they have enough of the season to be able to put out some fruit for me. The trees that I planted, as you can see, they've outgrown the little pots they were in. Earlier this year they were down inside this pot. They've grown a foot this year. There's several of them along here. Taking my little watering cans. As I can say, I've been sick. I'm down with bronchitis, so my energy level is just about 0.